You need to stop surrounding yourself with these people if your goal is to be successful and live as your authentic self. Hey guys, it's Ira here. If you're looking to become the best version of yourself, then you're on the right channel. If you didn't know, surrounding yourself with the wrong people, when you know it's the wrong people and you keep going back to them, is a form of self-sabotage. Especially when you're trying to get better and improve your life. A part of the human psyche likes to stay in their comfort zone. We're wired to stay in our comfort zone as human beings. But another part of us asks us to become better version of yourselves. And this is the anxiety feeling that you feel when you're around the wrong people and you feel like you don't fit in. You in general don't really feel like this is your crowd. That anxiety feeling always comes from a place of wanting to grow and knowing that you're not in the right place in order to do so. I think it's so cool how the brain works, because when we do want to get better, we know that we have to get out of our comfort zone. So that part of us that wants to keep us in the comfort zone always makes us self-sabotage. Just know why you're wired to want those toxic relationships with people, or just to be around people that are not really good for you in any way for leveling up. And throughout my self-development journey, I've realized there's these specific people that you just need to stay away from, like completely avoid them. I'm sure you already have these people right now in your life, and if you don't, that's amazing. Just know to stay away from them. But if you do, I'll help you diagnose them right now. Number one is the unlucky person. This is usually the person that is always complaining that there's always something wrong going on with their life. They're people who are miserable and usually want to transmit that misery onto other people, whether they like to or not. There's always something that is just not well. Every single time you ask them how they're doing, they're like, I'm not doing that good. They're just complaining and complaining and complaining. There's nothing going on for their lives because they don't see that good that they have in their lives. By the way, it's not really because they're unlucky or they're miserable, because life just sucks for them. It's because they simply don't want to get better. I'm not saying to stay away from friends who maybe are having some sort of breakdown or they're going through something tough in life. That's completely fine. What I'm talking about is the person that when you meet with them, there's nothing but negative things coming out of their mouth. I was always someone that wanted to help people out a lot. So when those type of people came to me, all I would really give them would be advice. I would really give them my energy to help them out. And no matter what I did, they always went back to complaining. They were never like, maybe you're right, etc. They never tried to change. These people want to stay at their lowest form of self. And you can't do anything to help them out. You can't do anything to change them. What that's going to eventually do is just drain you. When you're around negative people, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be negative yourself. You need to stay away from that. You're not going to get anywhere by having a negative energy around you. That would make up the unlucky friend. Number two would be the insecure friend. I'm not talking about that friend that, sometimes feels insecure. I'm talking about that person who is consistently insecure. Their whole personality, you can tell it's surrounded by insecurities. They just hate themselves. These are the people that look at your accomplishments and they don't congratulate you, and if they do it in a way where you can clearly tell that they're envious. These are the kind of people that only talk about themselves. Insecure people will always consistently talk about themselves. Insecurity is really just a lack of self-love, a complete lack of self-love. Insecurity is a lack of self-respect. What happens when you don't have something for yourself? You cannot pour from an empty cup. So these people are not going to genuinely feel happy for you. These people are not genuinely going to respect you because, once again, whatever you are is what you will project to the world. And at the end of the day, what happens with insecure people is that they end up bringing others down in order to feel good about themselves. Why would you want to surround yourself with people like that? You will not form genuine connections with someone who's super insecure about themselves. They're just going to end up making you question your self-worth because they can't seem to find their own. I've had multiple insecure friends in the past when I was younger, and every single time I would surround myself with them. For example, if we were with some guys, she would try to make me look very bad in front of the guys just so she can look good. If I had something on my face, maybe my lipstick was smeared by accident, she would be like, your lipstick looks smeared, why are you dressed like that, etc. She would try to roast me in front of people just to feel good about herself. And that reeks of insecurity. You wouldn't really do that to someone if you had self-love. It's just a projection of their own world. If you really have someone like this around you, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a best friend, whoever it is, you need to not take it personal, because at the end of the day, those people are suffering inside and you cannot do anything about it, but stay away from them so it doesn't hurt you too. So again, you can only help out a person so much before you start getting drained too, and you start questioning your self-worth. You need to have self-respect and know when enough is enough. I know some of you maybe want to change them, but you're not going to change them, because at the end of the day, self-love is something you must feel yourself. That's like the first rule of life. Love yourself. Because when you love yourself, you're able to pour from your own cup to people. But these insecure people don't know how to do that. Therefore, they're going to keep leaking insecurity. They're going to keep hurting people that surround them. So don't try to change them, because only they can change themselves. Okay, so number 3 would be the all bark, no bite friend. This is the friend that always tells you they're going to do this, they're excited for this, that they're going to start working on a business, that they're going to be millionaires, that they post it all over the story, and then they don't do anything. They don't really do anything to make that dream come true. All they do is bark, no bite. I've had a couple of these friends before, and to be completely honest with you, when you're leveling up in life, you're leveling up. There's nothing stopping you, okay? There's nothing stopping you. When you see someone who genuinely wants to become a better version of themselves, you will see them working on that every single day, making an effort, even if they're, going through something. You'll see them making some sort of effort. There's people who will pretend to want to become better versions of themselves because they saw it somewhere. Maybe they got inspired by people like Andrew Tate, or they got inspired by entrepreneurs in general. They're like, wow, that life looks super cool. They're trying to fulfill themselves with that kind of lifestyle. A lot of the time, it doesn't even come from a place of actually wanting to be successful. It comes from a place of wanting to be validated by other people. They start posting all these quotes, they start posting all these different motivational speeches, etc. But then you turn around and you see them partying every weekend. You see them putting no effort into any kind of business, no effort into building themselves and becoming the best version of themselves. You see no effort from that. And at the end of the day, what they were really looking for was validation. People believe that when you're the most successful, that's when you're going to be the most validated. That's when people are going to recognize you. They're going to appreciate you. So when they see these posts, all they want is to be validated. But at the end of the day, it's nothing but a facade. And it's truly sad. Yes, maybe they do really want to get better, but are they putting any work? No. And those are not the type of people to hang around with, because when you're trying to level up, what are you going to do? That's your friend. You're going to want to help them out. You're going to want to get them to change. I had a friend like that once. I was leveling up. I had just gotten my apartment in Miami, and I was honestly doing really good. But she always told me she wanted to start a business. She wanted to be a millionaire. She wanted to do this, to do that, blah, blah, blah. When it came down to me actually helping her out, I gave her courses for free that I had bought. I gave her so much help for free, and she didn't put any effort in. No effort. It truly broke my heart, but I had to let her go. Obviously, I just wanted to level up with her because she really seemed like she had it, but she didn't. And that hurt. I put a lot of effort into her, and she didn't put any effort back towards herself. This was a year ago. To this day, she's still where she was a year ago. It hurts my heart, but if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. You need to learn how to recognize those people, because they're just going to end up disappointing you and most likely also bringing you down, since you are who you hang around with. If one of these 3 people is your friend, your family member, you don't need to cut them off right away. Don't do that to yourself. If you can cut them off right away, great. That's amazing. Like, props to you. But some people can't. And that's okay. Distance yourself slowly from them if that's what you need to do. But know at the end of the day that for you to get to your path, it does take certain sacrifices, and it does take certain people being left behind. That's why it's pretty lonely at the top. It's just the reality of life. Some people are meant to come with you and some people are not. But when you do embrace the path that you're supposed to take, you're going to attract the correct people for you. So don't worry, you might feel lonely for a little bit, but I promise you that those right people will come into your life. Once you shed that old life, that old skin that no longer serves you, you will attract people who vibrate, who resonate with that new version of yourself. It's part of life. Just learn to embrace it. It took me a long time to learn all of this. I'm not going to lie. I've gone through so many friendship heartbreaks that were always redirections towards a better version of my life. So I hope these words help you diagnose the people that you need to shed in order to become that version of yourself that you want to become. Be sure to like so more people like yourself can find this wisdom, and subscribe so we can improve as human beings together. See you on the next one.